Sorbo Mylot, a former Marine intelligence officer in his early 40s. He's a tough, street-smart detective with a strong sense of justice. Sorbo lives on a 48-foot sailboat in San Pedro Harbor and owns a high-tech Tesla. Garbo Mylot, Sorbo's daughter, is in her early 20s. Garbo's a former UFC fighter and martial arts expert with a fierce sense of loyalty and determination. She shares her father's sense of justice and drive. James Hansen, a former priest turned secret commissioner. He's wise, methodical, and trusts Sorbo and Garbo implicitly. Appointed by Mayor Jeremy Ball, he's the link between the duo and their assignments. Mayor Jeremy Ball is a crime-fighting Los Angeles mayor who recognizes the need for a secret unit, like the Blue Column. The mayor believes in Sorbo and Garbo's mission. The rise of corruption, unsolved crimes, and underworld dealings have become unbearable. Mayor Ball makes the decision to form a secret unit called the Blue Column. Our superheroes Sorbo and Garbo are equipped to take on decades of overlooked cold cases and kidnappings, while investigating white-collar crime and corruption with their high-tech time-traveling Tesla.
Do you believe that extraterrestrial intelligence has visited planet Earth?
100%.
Liam Reynolds lived a charmed life, achieving his PhD in astronomy science at UCLA, and eventually working as a researcher and technical writer for a popular social media company. Liam was a dog lover. He and his German Shepherd Rocky were inseparable. His 10-year stint as a social media analyst came to an end when he was laid off. He managed to achieve a 7-figure severance package, which allowed him to immediately live his dream and purchase a home and become a desert rat somewhere in the Yucca Valley area. He found the perfect home on 10 acres near 29 Palms Marine Base, a little deserted neighborhood of 10-acre parcels with streets named after the planets. After meeting a 20-something escrow officer in Palm Springs who fell in love with Liam's dog Rocky and Liam, the couple became an item. She visited Liam's new tiny home often. Liam's childhood, he was filled with ups and downs. He was diagnosed with a mild case of indigo. His supernatural ability to think and communicate with what he thought were extraterrestrials from other planets was unique. The Jupiter address suited Liam best. Often he and his new companion Samantha would gaze out at nearby Goat Mountain looking for space objects resembling spheres from other planets. They took hiking trips at night to satisfy their extraterrestrial curiosity. While hiking one night, Liam and Sam witnessed an out-of-body experience. 2 owls, a space object, and bodies from the cemetery rising into the spaceship, and other bodies floating down and walking away from the mountain into the dark desert. Deep in a bunker at 29 Palms, Lieutenant James Morris headed a secret program in an underground bunker that was charged with searching for alien creatures that were rumored to be visiting Goat Mountain. Morris stumbled upon Liam Reynolds' extraterrestrial meetings on Goat Mountain. Lieutenant Morris's goal was to capture one of these creatures and secretly examine how and why aliens from another planet would want to visit Earth. Liam was not a fan of Lieutenant Morris. The end came when Morris and Reynolds met one night on Goat Mountain. Both experienced out-of-body experiences.
Kathy and Ron are sitting on the couch watching the local news. I'm Jess Marlowe. Welcome to the KNBC News 11 p.m. weather forecast. Now let's see what the weather is like later tonight in LA. There is an 80% chance of rain through the night, lasting through early tomorrow morning. Sending it back to you in the studio with an update on the Skid Row Slasher. The Skid Row Slasher, that's what they're calling him now. It's not safe to walk the streets in downtown LA anymore. I hope they catch that serial killer. It's giving me goosebumps just thinking about it. Do you mind if I cozy up to you, Ron? You're so nice and warm. You make me feel secure. You're right. It's like a real-life nightmare. People are getting attacked in broad daylight, all hours of the night.
The guy that I know, the guy that I've spent the last 30 years with, is the sweetest, kindest, most gentle human being I've ever known in my life.
Don't look so sad. I know it's over, but life goes on, and this whole world will keep on turning. Let's just be glad we had some time to spend together. There's no need to watch the bridges that were burning.
Smoke and dust and debris at Queen's Hairpin. This is where all the action is taking place, and that looks like too much action.
Stringer leads a special response unit for the CIA during the First Gulf War. Stringer enlists the services of his former Special Operations officers Johnny Morris and Rocco Fiore from the Italian Secret Service. The three covert operators were stationed in a bunker under the Saudi desert during the First Gulf War. From their vantage point, they transmitted satellite technology to keep Allied commanders aware of the Iraq Army battlefield moves in real time. The information they recorded and passed on to the Americans led to the infamous shooting gallery called the Highway of Death. Stringer's Formula One team is barely making it. Stringer decides the London's beautiful people with cocaine, which he smuggles in the tires of his Formula One cars. Stringer's balances raising sponsorship money for his Arrows Formula One team and killing anti-government rebels in South Africa, capturing Islamic terrorists in New York City, and secret missions for Israel's Mossad. One assignment takes Stringer to France and Marseille harbor, where a barge loaded with nuclear material is about to leave for Iran. The barge is blown up, and Stringer is rewarded handsomely by the Israeli government. Customs agents aggressively pursue an investigation and surveillance of Stringer's daily routine. After months of shadowing Stringer's moves, Scotland Yard agents raid his London flat. Stringer escapes in a harrowing car chase with a customs agent hanging on to the bonnet of Stringer's car, while his friend takes investigators on a wild chase with cocaine bags flying out of the getaway car. Agents lose track of Stringer's car. Stringer's dropped off in a London suburb, walks into a clothing store, takes a trench coat off a rack and walks out the back door. He's on the lam for more than a year. Scotland Yard picks up weak signals from northern Italy to South Africa from his disposable cell phones. Stringer secretly flies into New York to visit friends. He's cornered by the U.S. Secret Service during a sweep of the president's motorcade route. Stringer moves from rooftop to rooftop, escapes on foot. Secret Service agents are close behind. Stringer encounters a funeral procession, jumps into a black hearse, and becomes a passenger in a famous mafia funeral procession. Stringer is offered an extradition deal by Scotland Yard. Stringer arrives at the federal building in New York to surrender, but his former CIA pals stage a daring kidnapping with two black SUVs. His partners stage an explosion outside the federal building, creating the appearance that Stringer's killed. Stringer escapes and disappears somewhere in Europe to live another day.
So O'Toole is Italian, huh?
Ottolini.
Ottolini?
Well, the other half of the family is Sigliano, so we figured we finally fit into it just fine. Just I had to make Mom and Dad both happy. At one point, my mom was always happy because she comes from the Sigliano side, and she always was happy that we had gondolas. But my dad, on the O'Toole side, always felt a little left out of the whole thing. So back in 1997, was it? I opened up Limerick's Irish Pub. And so then I had gondolas and an Irish pub, so both sides of the family were happy. So here's our cannolis. These have become a funny thing. I mean, the research of cannolis is tough. Being that I don't have a kitchen that I can produce a whole bunch of things, I had to find product that I could be really satisfied with. So where do cannolis really come from, or where they claim the birth of them, is really down in Sicily. And so down in Sicily, what I found is a company that I can actually bring in the actual cannoli filling from Sicily, and I can bring in the shells from Sicily, and I can actually produce what would be everything made in Sicily, just built here in Long Beach. The key with a cannoli so much is the crunch. You've got to have that crunch. It's got to flake. There's a lot of different products out there that you can get, and if you pre-make the cannoli too far in advance and it goes in the refrigerator waiting for the customer, the cannoli will soften down below because of the cream, and all of a sudden it's a beautiful thing, but you don't have the crunch. And so what I needed to do is either make them fresh almost to order. These will go in the refrigerator for a few hours, and so it's not too big of a deal to pre-make some of them. But I lost my contact with Sicily that had these ones with a chocolate lining on the inside. Well, what does that chocolate do? Certainly adds a flavor, but it also creates a barrier, and so the cream does not get to the cannoli shell, and you can make them and put them in the refrigerator and hold them for like a whole day, and they're still completely crunchy and fresh. And so that's one of the beauties. But since that supplier doesn't exist anymore, now we just make them a lot more fresh. This is a beautiful, super crunchy cannoli shell. And then we get the cream that comes in from Sicily, and we'll come in here and we'll shoot these things in. One of the keys of making a cannoli, the simplicity of it, is that looks beautiful, but you got to make sure that cream is coming out this side, because if you just fill two ends and end up with a hollow middle, man, you're really bumming people out. So here, we make sure that second one gets really shoved in there. What I like to do is do it until this side starts to move a little. And you see that come out, oh, there again, then you know you're all the way in there. And then you make this beautiful cannoli. And then what we'll do is we'll add a little bit of pistachio onto one side of the cannoli. And then we will add one of these beautiful maraschino chilies, or chilies. I always call them chilies. Cherries onto the top. Boom. And there we've got a beautiful cannoli with a taste of pistachio, a maraschino chili, or cherry on the other side, a super crunchy shell, and a beautiful Sicilian feeling. And that's what we call the gondoli cannoli. Oh, almost forgot. Boom, 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 boom. There's the finish. Now we've got the full-blown cannoli.
You want to throw some more of that on there? Beautiful.
Just to finish her off with a little sugar. So people get confused sometimes, if they don't know much about it, and they think, is that a cannoli? What do you guys have, cannelloni? Cannoli? No, this is the cannoli. This is dessert. It can be breakfast, lunch, or dinner if you like, but boy, oh boy, when you bite into a cannoli, you're halfway to Italy. When you're on a gondola, you're almost all the way across. So between the combination of a cannoli and a gondola ride through canals with a gondolier singing opera, come on, Italy in your own backyard. You'll probably save $5,000, $10,000 by coming here rather than going all the way over there. And we take it to heart. We have the soul. We have what it takes to give you a true Venetian experience.
Elizabeth, and we're at Phil Tranny's, and I'm gonna make an East Side. It's an old classic drink. It's a gin cocktail, and it's a refreshing summer drink with mint and cucumber and fresh lime. I'm squeezing in the fresh lime. I'm gonna muddle some sugar into it. A little shot of water to help that. I'm gonna slice some cucumber very thin and muddle that into it as well.
Squashing it real good, huh?
You gotta muddle it, yeah. You don't really want chunks of the cucumber or mint to end up in the drink. I'm gonna do this with Scapegrace gin. It's a New Zealand gin, and it has a little bit of a dark tan into it.
Drive yourself crazy.
Yeah. She said she was gonna retire at 65. Whoop. A little shot of Rose's lime juice to sweeten it up. Yeah. Sure. Thank you. I'll give you
We do use that.
There you go. Cheers.
There's your clams, the scallops, the shrimp.
Hey Frank, it's Tony Pomponio. Hey listen, I'm heading over to Enzo's. I talked to Chef Vito today, and he told me come on down. He got some great food, and they got a bocce court, and you know what? I think we're gonna have a good time. Get over here. Hey Tony, what the heck? How'd you get here so fast?
You said it. Food, bocce, all of it. That's all. I don't need to waste any time about that. So let's go in and have some good food.
Well, let's get this party started. All right.
Welcome to El Corso.
How are you?
Very good, senor. You are in the best family Italian restaurant in South California.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Now, go park the car.
I will.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Tony Pomponio, and I am so happy to be here in Southern California at one of the most famous Italian restaurants, El Corso. Today, I have no problems. As you know, I usually have a lot of problems, but no problems tonight. We're going to go in and meet with Chef Mario Marfia and his staff, and they're going to cook us a great meal. Chef, ¿cómo está? We are at the beautiful Palm Desert Resort Country Club, and we're going to go in and meet with Chef John Dutra, and he's going to cook us a couple dishes, and it's going to be great. I'm also going to have a special guest today. You know him as the Godfather, Tony DiGirolamo, on Wise Guys Cooking. So let's go inside and let's go meet with the chef. Hey, there he is.
Hey, Tony.
What are you going to cook for us today?
I got some great special dishes
Hey,
to do here
we're lucky guys today.
at Palm Desert Resort.
None of that American. We want Italian stuff.
Hey, that's why we're here.
Penne calabrese, shrimp campbell.
My favorite, my favorite.
Yeah. And not much, just enough. Watch as it gets happy.
As it gets what?
Happy.
Happy.
Getting very happy. And at this point, you just add in your angel hair.
I want everyone out there in TV land to understand this club is open for everyone, right?
Yes.
You can come in to dinner anytime, and the prices are extremely reasonable. I'll be honest with you, when I leave here and I look at my bill, I won't leave with a happy face.
In the criminal justice system, crimes that are considered especially heinous are assigned to the dedicated officers of the San Pedro Cops. This elite squad is known as the Trojan Horse Unit. Retired Officer Larry Pye tells their stories. San Pedro Cops is a fictional series and does not depict any actual person or event. Many of these stories take direct inspiration from real headlines. San Pedro Cops is a fictional series and does not depict any actual person or event. Many of these stories take direct inspiration from real headlines.
La donna è con me, è molto di più di una donna qualsiasi. Io voglio a lei un bene fortissimo, un grido bellissimo. Canto tutto e niente, una musica senza musica, dove tutto è niente, una musica.
Today we have a bean scallopini, and we have spaghetti aglio oil, we have a caprese salad, and also my famous arancini. Then I did it 2 years ago with a Food Network program.
I'm gonna take.
Yeah.
Angel. Sicilian. The Godfather.
Wait, so your name is?
Come si chiama?
Angelo Camerata.
Angelo Camerata.
Camerata.
Camerata. Dr. Camerato. And then, sir, how do you like your food today?
Very good.
You can.
Hi, my name is Harvey Barron. Originally from New York, but now a Californian living in Palm Desert.
Baroni?
Barron. Close Baroni, close Baroni.
And what do you have there? You got the veal scallopini?
The food is wonderful. I can come here every day if they would invite me.
Well, let's see what we have here. We got the bread.
We're done playing. Come on.
We got Guy Fiore up there. What is your name?
My name is Al Rossi, R-O-S-S-I.
Is that Italian?
Well, my mother and dad both were. I don't know. I used to be a dad.
Where are they from?
The Marche in near Ancona and northeast of Rome.
My name is Eric Smith, and I've become good friends with Al Rossi here. Kirk Dornan, that's his name over here. And we all live up in Ironwood and have been coming down to visit John and Jose for a couple of years. Al came down and introduced himself and made himself welcome. And then he drugged the rest of us down here, and it's been very enjoyable, so thank you.
Sir, what is your name before you stuff your mouth?
Oh, my name is Hank Zegarelli.
And what part of Italy are you from?
Southern part of Italy. And,
South Italy.
South Italy.
Very south.
Hi, I'm Jim Madison. I'm not from Italy, I'm Danish.
Okay. You got anything to say for yourself?
Not much today, other than great food, interesting company.
And the food's fantastic.
Buongiorno. So my name is Emilio, my name is Federico. We're the Corsetti brothers. We're originally from Sicily, Palermo, born and raised. Our dad, he always been in this restaurant business. Used to be a very big figure in Sicily, Palermo. He worked in many restaurants, also worked overseas. He worked in London, he worked in Tuscany, he worked also in Rome. So he worked in a lot of places. So I think in our blood, it's already like we have the gene on the DNA to be in the restaurant business. The previous owners of this restaurants, it's Mario Marfia. They own Il Corso in Palm Desert. He started the restaurant career with our father in Sicily back in the 70s. They went to culinary school together, and then they worked together in England and in Tuscany. So due to this friendship, that's why we're here. we started, being in the restaurant business. By scrubbing pots and pans, washing dishes. He want us always to, he didn't want us to be in the restaurant business because it's very hardworking and sacrificed. So he said it, no matter what, if you guys gotta learn it, you learn it the hard way. Favorite dish to make for me, it's definitely the veal milanese. It's something my grandma used to make when I used to be a kid. And I remember going there on Saturday, Sunday night, and Grandma, you would always make this wonderful veal milanese. They were the best, and I think we consider ourselves more restaurateurs, which it's the infusions, the cohesions of both front of the house and dining room, and kitchen. It's we both like to cook, but I think. He's the good one, so he has a better taste than me. Always try to keep up what our cultures are, because don't forget where you come from. That's very important.
I love you all very, very much. Good night and God bless you.